I cannot believe what I am witnessing. Multiple surprising New York Met updates. More injuries. Mendoza cannot be happy right now. The pitchers are dropping like flies. And David Stearns, he doesn't want to bring up any top prospects. I can't believe this. It's every single day that we're having a new injury with the Mets. It seems like every time we win, another pitcher gets injured. I'm wearing my 4th of July hat. Happy 4th of July to anyone in America that's celebrating right now. We're about to play the Yankees. And I was like, oh, cool. Let me go film a preview video. This is going to be great. The Mets are coming in hot. The Yankees are coming in ice cold. Nope, I have to break injury news because another pitcher is injured. This is absolutely insanity. Stay tuned to find out who, only on Mets Digest. I'm your host today, Mike Duda. Before we get into this crazy news, we got to talk about some subscribers, and that being that 67.3% of you that watch these videos are not, in fact, subscribers. So please do me a favor, do us a favor here at Mets Digest, and hit that free subscribe button. That way we can bring content to you about the amazing. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right into this. Who's injured this time? Well, it's going to be Jose Butto. He is on the 15-day injured list. It is retroactive to July 1st, which is good, which means he can be back by as early as the 15th, out with an illness, but he likely won't be back that early. I kept the other move here. That is that the New York Mets recalled right-handed pitcher Chris Davinsky from AAA Syracuse. That's the corresponding move. And just another bullpen arm that we didn't see for opening day. Another player that is just here because why not? Because injuries. Let's focus on Butto first, and then we're going to talk about Davinsky and the future of him and, of course, this New York Mets team. Here's the monthly log for Jose Butto here in 2025. And as you can see, he was lights out in the month of June. He had a 0.00 ERA in 10 games and 13 2/3 innings pitched in the month of June. But if you notice, the Mets have played a couple of games now. They've played 3 games in the month of July. Jose Butto hasn't pitched in any of them. The last time he pitched was June 28th in Pittsburgh. That was the second game of that Pittsburgh series, that brutal series. He pitched 2 scoreless innings, gave up 1 hit, 1 walk, and struck out 1. And that's because he's retroactive, as we saw here, to July 1st. So he was injured for a couple of days now, or sick, whatever this is. In fact, it's so early that Mendoza's not even giving us any information. We'll hear a little bit later from Mike Puma, but the skip is not even giving us information right now on Jose Butto. So he's retroactive to July 1st. Of course, here are his statistics. Hasn't pitched in July, and he was looking really, really good in this razor-thin New York Met bullpen. Here are the stats so far this year. Looked really good, too. He was 2-1 with a 247 in 31 games, 43 2/3 innings pitched. He logged a save as well, 39 Ks, basically a 9 strikeout per 9, a 1.26 whip. He was looking really, really solid this year, but he's injured with an illness, and still, we really have no update, unfortunately. It's still really early, so maybe Carlos Mendoza will talk pregame, but we really don't know what is going on with Jose Butto, besides the fact that he's on the 15-day injured list with, quote, illness. So, since we don't have a lot on Butto, let's go ahead and talk about his replacement in Chris Davinsky. These are his statistics. Pitched in 4 games so far this year, 5 innings, a good strikeout per 9 strikeout per 9, and a good whip at 0.8 and a 3.60 ERA, which is definitely solid. So they are bringing up Davinsky, a right-hander, to replace the right-handed Butto, and he's been solid, so I'm not going to complain that Davinsky is back, but I feel like I have a right to complain about all these injuries. We are just getting hurt and hurt and hurt all of the time, and let's go ahead and prove that. Here is the current roster. You got Huascar Brazaban, obviously Davinsky, who we went over, Diaz, who thankfully has stayed healthy this year, Rico Garcia. I don't even know who Rico Garcia is. Reed Garrett, Justin Hagenman, Clay Holmes, Richard Lovelady, Frankie Montas, David Peterson, Ryan Stanek, Brandon Waddell, and Austin Warren. Now, let's go ahead and compare this to the opening day roster. You had Clay Holmes, as you saw here. Holmes is still here. He's still healthy. McGill, hurt. Canning, out for the rest of the year. Peterson, still here. Senga, hurt. Edwin Diaz, still here. Minter, out for the year. Stanek, healthy right now, but him and Diaz both can't pitch today because they've pitched back-to-back days in that Milwaukee series. Reed Garrett, still here, but he has been struggling immensely. Butto, as we just saw, is now injured. Danny Young has been gone for about 2 months, and nobody's even heard his name. Max Kranick is not on this list, so I believe he's injured. And Huascar Brazaban, he's currently healthy. Now, the opening day injured list included Sean Manaea. He is still hurt and still rehabbing right now. but he's still hurt, obviously. Frankie Montas, he is currently healthy, but he's only made 2 starts. Again, goes to show all of these pitching injuries that we've had. Paul Blackburn, who came back and is now hurt again. Christian Scott, who's out for the year, and Drew Smith, who is also out for the year. So, I mean, look at the difference here between the active roster and the opening day roster. It is absolutely insanity. The New York Mets are dealing with so many injuries to the pitching staff, and we'll hear in just a little bit what David Stearns has to say about bringing up top prospects. But let's hear from the skip first in Carlos Mendoza about what he is saying from this Jose Butto injury. And according to Mike Puma of the New York Post, like I said earlier, quote, Carlos Mendoza wouldn't expand on Jose Butto's illness, but it's said not too serious, and he is expected to be back right after the All-Star break. So, Mendy's not even giving us updates. Hopefully he does before the game today. That starts at 3 o'clock, so hopefully in the pregame he ends up giving us an update. But we don't know right now. It's just an illness. Hopefully he's back right after the All-Star break. Who knows, given all of these pitching injuries. But I think what I'm most irritated with right now is David Stearns. I've been someone who has protected Stearns. I've come to his defense on multiple occasions. You see it in the comment section. I say it in these videos. I think Stearns is a genius. But he's not bringing up any of our prospects. Right now, Jose Butto is now injured. That's another bullpen arm that we are replacing with someone who is not as good. Now, Davinsky has been good, don't get me wrong, but he's obviously not as good as Butto because he would have been on the opening day roster if he's as good or better than Butto. So what do? We are playing the New York Yankees, and we have 2 out of the 3 games that we're running bullpen by committee. This is terrible. Why are we not bringing up a starting pitcher right now? Anthony Zacomo said, quote, David Stearns says his preference is not to call up a top prospect like Nolan McLean or Brandon Sproat for a spot start. While he didn't rule it out, good, hopefully, Stearns indicated he'd prefer other options right now, with both Kodai Senga and Sean Manaea due back from injury soon. Now, this is true on the latter front. Senga and Manaea are both supposed to make rehab starts early next week, and Senga should only need 1 rehab start, and this should be Manaea's last, so hopefully they'll join the team either right before the All-Star break or right after the All-Star break. But still, I don't think Stearns notices, I don't think he realizes, this is the New York Yankees. We're playing arguably our biggest rival. I know personally, I hate the New York Yankees more than any franchise in professional sports, and really more than most things in life. So obviously they're our rival. They're a big rival. And what are we doing? We're running 2 games bullpen by committee. This is just ridiculous. I don't know what Stearns is thinking. I don't understand it, especially because Sproat has been pitching well in AAA as of late. And you go and look at Nolan McLean's stats. He got called up to AAA at some point this year, and he's looked great. A 2.80 ERA, 3-4 and 54 2/3 innings pitched. He's started 8 games. He's been in 10 games. The batting average against is not that bad. A good whip at 117. He's clearly shown that in the 10 games that he's pitched in AAA Syracuse, he can handle it down there in Syracuse. So why can't he handle it for 1 start here in the majors? I know that Stearns doesn't want to bring him up, but sometimes things warrant things that we don't want to happen. Right now, the New York Mets are so thin on starting pitching, they really need to bring someone up because they don't have a veteran starter in that minor league system. The best bet you're going to get is number 2 prospect Brandon Sproat or number 5 in Nolan McLean because Jonah Tong is not yet ready in that minor leagues, and you saw it with Jonathan Pintaro. I don't think he's ready. Plus, he's a bullpen arm to begin with. So, I think this is getting ridiculous with David Stearns. He really needs to bring up a top prospect, especially because we're playing the Yankees. I'll get to that in just a little bit. I'll get to that in my next video, which should come out just after this one. But, I mean, I don't even know at this point. So let me know, what do you think down below? Jose Butto is injured. We're about to play the New York Yankees, and we're running 2 bullpen by committee games. Again, video to come on that later, but very unfortunate news in Jose Butto. Let me know what you think down below. Do you agree with Stearns' decision to not bring up a top prospect for a spot start? It would be likely 1 start, maybe 2. But I personally think you are at a dire need right now, and you need it. So let me know if you agree down below. Unfortunately, that's all the time I have for you in today's video. Thank you so much, as always, for watching. And let's go Mets!